Before I start this video today, I just want to let you know that I entered my short film, The Wooden Man, into the My Road Reel competition, so I have a link in the description, and if you could spend a minute to just go and vote for me, I would really appreciate it. If I win the contest, I get about $100,000 worth of film equipment that I could use to make even better videos for this channel, so again, it only takes a minute of your time, and I'd appreciate it if every single person watching this video today went and voted for me. And now back to the original video. Recently, the Try Guys, most notable for making some of the most popular Buzzfeed videos of all time, left the company to start their own channel and create similar content to what they've always made. This is just another example of a growing trend of people that started off as Buzzfeed video producers branching off and starting their own business. At least with the Try Guys, they'll continue to work with Buzzfeed to secure brand deals for their new company. But this is only the most recent example. It has become a running joke online that ex-Buzzfeed employees start making content of their very own by making a video called Why I Left Buzzfeed. There's literally dozens of examples of this. Case after case, we see people leaving Buzzfeed and successfully running their own account, which leads to the question, could this brain drain lead to trouble for the company's future? Surely there will be a point where it will hurt their bottom line to have all these talented creators leave and then become their competition. But the thing is, there's not much they could do to stop it. Let me explain. BuzzFeed is one of only a handful of corporations that are really good at making money off of original YouTube content. This website is good for small operations like mine, but when a big company with overhead dumps money into a channel, it almost always fails because they're trying to rely off ad revenue, which doesn't bring in a lot. BuzzFeed is the exception because they realize that making inexpensive videos with very small teams yields the best results. Stuff like Moms Read Yo Mama jokes and We Tried the 30-Day Water Challenge make good cheap content. But as time goes on, video producers have started to ask themselves, why don't I just make all this content on my own? This is a good question. If the content is so cheap to make and they've built up a following for themselves, why don't they just start making the same exact content on their very own channel, cutting out BuzzFeed who profits the most? And many of the most talented creators have started doing just that. BuzzFeed may actually be a good place to start out in some cases. You make a lot of connections with others in the industry, you get experience and tips for making popular online videos, plus are introduced to a massive reach of the company's online empire. But it makes sense that the smartest of its creators would get everything they can out of working for them, then move on to starting their very own channel where they have 100% rights to everything they make. This is not saying self-employment is always possible though. There are many times when companies behind the scenes are necessary. Let's take into consideration a wildly popular show like Hot Ones. I've listened to interviews where the host says that he doesn't make as much money as a lot of people believe he does, and that would make sense since he's just working for somebody else, which is the First We Feast channel run by Complex. Some would say that Sean Evans is being ripped off by the middleman company, thinking that he doesn't need them, but that's not entirely fair. Sure, Hot Ones could be produced without a company's backing at this point, but what Complex did do is bring access to a lot of celebrities in the early stages of the account. Without Complex, the show wouldn't have been able to book decent guests, and currently they're reaping the benefits of that contribution to the show now that they're popular. Hopefully in the future, Sean will be able to leverage his fame for a better cut of the profits later on. But for now, he has to be thankful to the celebrities Complex has been able to bring him over the years. Unlike in the case of Hot Ones, BuzzFeed isn't really offering anything that special to keep its best producers around, and this might start to become a problem for BuzzFeed sometime down the road. If the moneymakers keep on jumping ship, they'll be left with only the talent they're most criticized for. You know the videos I'm talking about, the social justice and feminist content that gets millions of dislikes and makes them no money. Stuff like Women Try Manspreading for a Week and 36 Questions Women Have for Men aren't the company's bread and butter. I often see people ask why BuzzFeed or any of these other online video companies produce this tired and hateful content that only receives backlash and massive downvotes. And the answer to that is it's an agenda that they're trying to push. Just like Fox News is pro-Republican, these online video outlets are pro-social justice, and they can't afford to make this controversial and hated content while $3 sushi versus $250 sushi pays the bills. If all the people making profitable content leave, however, and you're only left with feminists complaining about white men, then they may start to have a problem. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but my point still stands. Buzzfeed could potentially be at risk of having a brain drain of their best talent as they realize there's a lot more money to be made creating content for themselves. But we'll just have to wait and see. Hey everybody, and thank you so much for making it to the end of this video today. It's really appreciated, and I apologizing for sweating so much. It's hot in my house and there's no air conditioning in this room, so unfortunately you'll just have to deal with my sweaty face for maybe another week or two. Hopefully it will start to cool down. Anyway, on to the question of the day. A lot of people have been asking me how I feel about Alex Jones being kicked off of the platform. And I think it was bound to happen sometime, and it just kind of proves the point that YouTube does not really have a tough stand on free speech. For years, YouTube has been putting on this fake front that they value free speech on the platform, and anybody that's been on here for a while will contest that and have called them out relentlessly for lying and being hypocritical on that point, and I think Alex Jones leaving just cements that. Now, to be clear, YouTube had all the rights in the world to ban Alex Jones from the platform, and I'm not arguing that in any which way. But what I will say is YouTube cannot on one hand say that they value free expression and people saying things no matter if they disagree with it, then on the other hand banning people that they disagree with it. Those things do not go together. If you're going to have an authoritarian website where you ban people for saying things you disagree with, then by all means do it, but then don't lie to us after the fact. That's all I'm asking. None of this personally affects me. I don't think I really say controversial stuff on this account, although there are people that would disagree with me on that assessment, so this is not going to hurt me in any way, so I'm not saying this as self-interest. I just think that if I ran YouTube, I would not have kicked off Alex Jones. I would have let him on. I would have allowed anybody on this website that are not directly breaking any laws, but I guess I'm in the minority of that opinion, or at least it feels like it sometimes. So I'll end the video here, and until next time, thanks for watching.
On fait silence, à qu'à se passe